Welcome back to Tiki Taka Talk, and today I'm going to give you the post-World Cup rankings. This is my final video about the 2026 World Cup. It has been a long ride, but we are finally here. And now I'm going to name you the 50 nations that after the World Cup are in the top 50. It's going to include nations that didn't qualify. Of course, they're going to be way down, including Italy. But let's get into the post-World Cup rankings. Starting off at number 1, World Cup winners, Spain. They had to be here. They're number 1 in IRL. But for mine, they have to be number 1. Argentina is second. Argentina, they are going to fall off without Messi. But it was a great run. They made it to the final, and they deserve to be top 2. England 3 and France 4. Many say France is better than England, but England just won the third place game. So doesn't that mean that they're the third best team in the world? That's what I think. England third and France in fourth. In fifth, I have Morocco. Many will be shocked at this, but they are one of the quarterfinalists. They had to go against an unstoppable France. So if they had gone against maybe let's say England, they could have gone through. But instead, Morocco gets in fifth. In sixth, I have Belgium. Many people were doubting Belgium, saying that they are nobodies. But even with this team, they still have superstars. KDB can still, move. Leandro Trossard's a great young winger. Oh, he's 31, but he's now going to the Turkish league. Doku is a great winger as well. He has so much star power on that left side. Tielemans just got his move to Manchester United. Courtois, as always, is one of the best keepers in the world. So that's why Belgium's 6th. Portugal in 7th. Portugal, they were knocked out in the round of 16 to the eventual winner, Spain, by a 90th minute goal. It shows that they could they could hold their own against the best sides in the tournament. In 8th, I have Brazil. Brazil fell off a cliff. They knocked down the round of 16 to Norway, of all teams. But you can't really put Brazil that far down. Because in 9th, I have Switzerland. Switzerland are such a great team. They showed who they are. Made it to the quarterfinals. And knocked out to the finalist of Argentina. But still, Switzerland should be happy with their result. 10th, I have Norway. Norway rode their way all the way to the quarterfinals. But got knocked out to England in heartbreaking fashion. But Norway, they are now a top 10 side in the world because they made it to a quarterfinals. In 11th, I have Mexico. They just hosted the World Cup. They were great in hosting it. And they made it to the round of 16, got knocked out to England. It was a good one. 12th, I have Netherlands. Netherlands are a really good side. They were undefeated in the group stage, but unfortunately played Morocco in the round of 32, almost won, but lost on a penalty shootout due to a few penalty misses, including Justin Kluivert, and Netherlands is out, and I put them 12th, which is pretty high up for a round of 32 exit. In 13th place, I have Colombia. Colombia won their first matchup against Ghana. Whenever they faced off against Switzerland, their attack couldn't make anything, and they lost on a penalty shootout, which is still respectable, which is why I put them in the top 14. But still, Colombia, I was projecting them to be my dark horse, and they were not indeed a dark horse. In 14th place, I have my team, Germany. Germany knocked out to Paraguay, as always. I mean, I don't know how we keep finding ourselves in these scenarios. We even lost to Ecuador in the group stage. So Germany is falling off a cliff right now. Back-to-back World Cups without even making the round of 16. 15th place, I have Croatia. They were knocked out in the round of 32 to Portugal. I was thinking of putting Croatia above Germany, but Croatia didn't really show many promise because they lost to England, they beat Panama, and they beat Ghana. Well, Germany beat Ivory Coast and Curacao, but still, they beat them 7-1. Japan in 16th place. Japan showed a lot of heart this tournament. They've tried to play blue lock, but then they ran into the ultimate green lock in Brazil, and Brazil knocked them out. Still a respectable tournament by Japan. 17th place, I have USA. I mean, people are going to argue USA is a top 15 side. But whenever you have home advantage and you're losing to Belgium, which is not a bad side, they're 6th in my rankings. But still, 4-1, can never get into those top 15s. 18th place, I have the first non-World Cup side in Italy. Italy didn't make the World Cup for the 3rd time in a row, but they have such a good squad. They won the Euro 6 years ago, and they are just a great side in general. But they need to start putting the pieces together, finding a right manager, finding the correct pieces to build their puzzle, and maybe they could make the next World Cup in Spain and Portugal, Morocco, blah, blah, blah. In 19th place, I have Senegal, the reigning, defending, righteous African champions. Senegal, I mean, this wasn't the best tournament by them. Lost to Norway, lost to France, barely scraped out of the group stage by destroying Iraq. And they made it to the round of 16, only to lose to Belgium by absolutely fumbling the bag in the 85th minute plus. So Senegal in 19th. 20th, I have Ecuador. Ecuador is a good side. They deserve their flowers. They beat Germany. They beat Curacao. They lost to Ivory Coast. Oh, wait, no, they didn't beat Curacao, actually. Who cares? But Ecuador made the round of 32 and lost to Mexico. But still, their defense lets them be a top 20 side. 21st, I have Australia. Australia is such a great team. They deserve their flowers. Made it to the round of 32. Lost on penalties to Egypt. It was sad, but it was just bad coaching. And they definitely could have made it farther if they just kept their goalkeeper in. 22nd place, I have Canada. Canada has been a great team all tournament. They got their first ever wins. They destroyed Qatar 6-0. They drew Bosnia and lost to Switzerland. But still, they made it to the round of 32, beat South Africa, my team, made it to the round of 16 and lost to Morocco. So it was a great tournament by Canada. Ivory Coast, I have in 23rd. Ivory Coast is a great team, a great African team. They really put up a fight, 2nd in their group, made it to the round of 32, but lost to Norway, which is such a bad draw to have. 24th, I have Paraguay. Many would say this is kind of high for Paraguay when they just beat Germany. They just beat Germany and Turkey and almost beat France in the same tournament. You have to put them top 25, and maybe they could rise up their stocks in the later years. 25th, I have Sweden. Many people put Sweden super far down in their World Cup rankings, but I'm going off after this World Cup. And what they did this World Cup was destroy Tunisia, to get destroyed by Netherlands, put up a fight against Japan, and then get knocked out to France 3-0. It was a bad tournament by Sweden, but still, they're top 25. They have the squad. 26th, I have Uruguay. Uruguay got knocked out in the group stages. I don't know how they're top 20 in FIFA's eyes. I should have just put them below 32nd because they didn't even make the round of 32. They didn't win a single game, but it is Uruguay. Can't drop them too many places or else it's just going to be with some random teams. If I dropped them one more place low, they would be below. Number 27, Iran. Iran was so close to getting a round of 32 spot. Only did it because Senegal decided to drop 5 on Iraq. They're border mates, I don't know. But Iran, they deserve top 27. They didn't lose a single game, but they didn't win. 3 draws, and yeah, it was a great tournament by Iran and their standards. Denmark, I have at 28th. They didn't make the World Cup. They lost to Czech Republic on penalty shootout. And it was so bad for Denmark. They deserved to be there. But unfortunately, Denmark was not. But they are still a top 28 side. Better than some of the teams that made round 32. So yeah, Denmark in 28th. 29th, I have Austria. Austria made the round of 32. They faced off against the eventual winner, Spain, and of course lost. So Austria deserves top 29. 30th, I had Egypt. Egypt had a decent tournament. Mo Salah carried that team to the round of 16. but they lost in very controversial fashion to Argentina. 32nd or 31st, sorry, I have Turkey. Turkey, 3 points, knocked out in the group stages. Many would say this is a terrible tournament for Turkey, and it is, but you can't drop them down to below 32nd because they are a top 31 side in the world. So Turkey, 31. 32nd, I have Nigeria. They barely didn't make the World Cup. They deserve their flowers for almost making it there, but losing at the last second to Congo. But Nigeria, better luck next time, buddy. 33rd, I have Algeria, another African team. Algeria, they made it out of the group. They faced Switzerland and they lost. They literally conceded a goal so they would have an easier draw, and then proceeded to lose that easier draw. So it was bad decision by Algeria. South Korea in 34th. They didn't make it out the group. All they had to do was beat South Africa, and they couldn't even do that. So 34th for South Korea. 35th, I have Ukraine. Ukraine is a decent side. They didn't make the World Cup this year because of political relations. But maybe in the next World Cup, I can show who they are. 36th, I have Russia. Right next to Ukraine. I know, probably some bad decisions making there. But Russia is a good side. Maybe they'll get back into the World Cup qualifications soon. 37th, I have Poland. Poland deserved to be in this World Cup. They were knocked out to Sweden, so I couldn't put them any high up. But still, they're a top 37 side. 38th, I have Congo. Congo made it to the knockouts, got their first ever World Cup win, first ever World Cup points against Portugal, and made their first ever knockout, but lost to England. Barely lost to England, might I add. 39th, I have Wales. Wales are in kind of a standpoint. Gareth Bale is retired. They're searching for that next new star. Maybe a FC player career mode loading in. But Wales is definitely top 40. And 40th, I have Hungary. Hungary is a great team. Dominic Szoboszlai, of course. Peter Gulácsi. They didn't make this World Cup. They're still a top 40 side in the world. 41st, I have Cape Verde climbing up like 27 spots from what they had at the start of the tournament. I think at the start of the tournament, I had Cape Verde out of the World Cup teams 46th. And now they're like in the top 30s. Cape Verde deserves all of the flowers they can get. So they're in 41st. South Africa is right behind them in 42nd. They also made the knockouts, but lost to Canada. Bosnia in 43rd. They made the knockouts as well, but lost to USA. I'm just going to start quick firing these because this episode's getting pretty long. 44, Ghana made it to the knockouts. Very crucial point against England, but got knocked out to Colombia. 45th, Serbia didn't make the World Cup, but still a majorly good team. Deserved to be top 45. 46, Scotland didn't make it out of the group, but they were well in their groups. 3 points in a very tough group, so they deserve to be top 46. Cameroon in 47th didn't make the World Cup. They're a great team. Panama in 48th made the World Cup, 0 points, but still, there's only 48 teams, so 48th is kind of where they should be. 49th, Slovakia, great team. And 50th, Czech Republic, 1 point. Lost to Mexico, lost to South Korea, drew with South Africa in very heartbreaking fashion. Bad tournament by Czech Republic. Well, those are my post-World Cup rankings. If you would enjoy, make sure to hit the like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.